You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's not time for us to look at what people are saying, especially online on all platforms, talking about trending now. Olamide Odekunle is here. Olamide, good to see you.
Good morning, team. How are you doing today?
Very well.
I already know how you're doing because I was on the table 20 minutes ago.
And now you left us all men on the table and went to
Indeed, it must be so lonely up there. But shall we take a look at what everyone is saying this morning?
Please go ahead.
Let's go. Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and an eye on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, we do our best to bring you trending stories that are shaping the world that we live in. We begin today on a somber note, where the residents of Lagos Marina are still in shock after a fire broke out at the Afriland building on Broad Street, Lagos Island, a high-rise that houses the United Bank for Africa, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and several other businesses. Now, while the incident left at least 4 people hospitalized, another disturbing development is now drawing public attention, one that is raising serious questions about press freedom and the safety of those on the front lines, in this regard, journalists. Now, a journalist covering the fire was harassed on camera while attempting to document the unfolding tragedy. In the now viral video, he's seen being shoved and obstructed, and a lot of people raise concern over the treatment of reporters during emergencies like this. Take a look at this video.
I was located on Broad Street.
Now, in moments like these, when the public depends on accurate and timely information, we have to ask how safe those of us that are bringing you the news are in emergencies like this. The press do play a very pivotal role in emergencies. We could miss out on vital information when we censor them and kick them out of key areas like this. But let's take a look at social media. I want to hear your opinions. Truth Be Told says, is there anything they're hiding from us? Let the media do their work, even inside fire. Truth be told. Joshua Aroke says, at Police Nigeria, you're known for not doing the right thing. Prove me wrong by making sure that this guy faces the law in the coming days. Because this is violence against the press, irrespective of his emotions. And GTV says, in Nigeria, the real emergency number is not 112. It's the area boys on the street. This UBA bank fire is a painful reminder that when tragedy strikes, the first and sometimes only help you will get is from the common man. They are our real government, our real heroes. Deepest condolences to the lives lost. This is all very sad. But team, we thank God nobody passed away. There were no fatal casualties yesterday. Very sad what happened. But Etoma, you're a seasoned journalist. How should a journalist react? Because our job is to bring you the story, bring you news, take you into critical areas. Indeed, reportage can even help prevent and let people on ground, emergency service, know what's going on. We play a very pivotal role.
At times, there are stories inside a story. Yes, he went for the story. And then he was shoved, brutalized, and, disgraced, so to speak, by an area boy. So that becomes a very big story for him. And then he can take general information about the main story that took him there. So thinking as a journalist, he had 2 stories when he went for one. So it's like throwing a stone and killing 2 birds. Right. It's unfortunate. And for the guy that pushed him, obviously a street man, I don't know what was running through his head. We have his picture, arrest him, let him face the law so that next time when he sees a journalist, he will know that these are not people you can just push around.
There are people who are very essential to the running of this economy, and that's why they call journalists the fourth estate of the realm. Talk about doctors, talk about journalists, talk about the soldiers. They're always in the front lines when issues are happening, because we have the duty of being socially responsible and bringing you that information, blow-by-blow account of whatever is happening. That's where, if you look at Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, under which the Nigerian Constitution, Section 39, subsection 1, saying that everyone has a right of freedom of opinion and expression, which includes the freedom to hold opinions without interference, to seek, receive, and impart same knowledge, same information through any media without interference or any frontiers. So we need to let these people know, because it's these same people that will say, something is happening somewhere, they are not covering it, they are not talking about it, and they are doing their job. We can't continue to behave like the IDF, talk about the Israeli Defense Forces that has killed more than 200 journalists on what is going on in Palestine and Gaza. So we need to let these people know that we are doing our jobs as a socially responsible media or medium.
Well, two things. First of all, we don't really know the backstory behind why that gentleman was pushed, right? Olamide, earlier,
he was trying to get into his zone to report.
Well,
that's what happened.
You were commending, the area boys for some of the gestures they did to help out that fire outbreak. Yeah. However, that's what we saw on camera. He being shoved out by that guy. We don't know what happened. And so based on the lack of that knowledge, we can't really conclude on that end. However, yes, of course, as journalists, we need to be able to do our jobs wherever we go to do it. But this doesn't really look good. Even though, if at all there was something behind, I'm sure it could have been better handled. But if I'm you, my dear brother, take this story, make a spin out of it, throw back fleets on this is some good stuff. Absolutely. You can really work on.
No matter what, there should be no need for violence.
For what has happened. No, this guy is not even a safety.
No matter what happened, it doesn't justify you putting your hands on someone. But thank you so much for your team for your input. Moving on in the world of social media, TikTok creator Olaoluwa Segun has recounted an experience he described as the lowest moment of his life after 2 days in police custody at Yaba Panti Station. Take a look at this video.
And I want to apologize to her fans. Very sorry about that. Okay. Now we are friends now.
Okay, friends. Your godmother, right?
So thank you guys for your support. Thanks for your concern. Thanks for the messages, calls, and everything. But so here is human to forgive is divine.
Now, his arrest followed a viral post in July where he falsely listed Nollywood actress Dayo Amusan among 5 entertainers he alleged were living with HIV. Now, the claim was traced to a recycled 2019 video, and it resurfaced online despite Dayo Amusan having long confirmed her HIV negative status in a campaign encouraging regular testing. For this young man, Segun, the episode came on the heels of personal grief. He recently lost his mother, and he said that the trauma of the detention was worsened by the conditions in custody, where newcomers are often pressured to pay a 10,000 naira levy to support inmates who have no money. He also said the food was uneatable and he was heavily maltreated. Now, Dayo Amusan stepped in to end this saga. She met his relatives and she considered his age and his circumstances. She then announced her decision to forgive him, and she even shared his apology with her followers. Once again, we are seeing that the digital footprint can really land you real-life consequences. Let's take a look at social media. Young man, I hope you've learned your lesson. Sheyi says, word to Shore. Sheyi says, originally, the rationale behind requiring a prisoner to remove his shirt and shoes before going in a cell was to stop him from hanging himself with his shirt or shoelaces or using the shoes as a weapon. Police now don't know the real reason. They just do it to humiliate prisoners. That is part of what Segun went through in detention. I'll take another tweet. Commander-in-Chief says, some people that get locked up in cells were illegally locked up. If they know their rights or the country's judiciary system is working, this wouldn't be happening. Team, once again, we are seeing online somebody coming out and reaping the real-life consequences of coming out to label somebody HIV positive or a criminal. There are real-life consequences for defaming people online. There are ways to get your point across. There are ways to call out things without trying to defame someone's image or tarnishing them.
Yeah, it's citizens journalism. There are no confirmations. You think it sounds sensational. All you want is the followership and the viewership and so on. Yeah. And you go ahead and publish something that is not confirmed correct. Shell should be very, very happy that Amusan decided to forgive him, because giving her that tag that she's HIV positive could end her career. But she's magnanimous, and thank God there's an apology and everything is working fine now.
I think the craze to always create content, set up your ring light, put on your camera, and then start saying all sort of nonsense. Some of these things will make us learn our lessons so in a hard way. Because how can you say some things without verifying information? That's the problem of proliferation of the mass media, where everyone is now a journalist. You have your phones, you have a laptop. You don't even need to buy a transmitter or rent a store. Your room, your system, your phones are the media. You know, I mean, the media, yes, the media that you use for dissemination of information. But we need to be very, very careful because of the Cybercrime Act, Prevention and Protection Act. I think that's section 24, subsection 1, which Shure is now finding himself in that kind of similar situation. But it's okay that this lady is forgiving him, but the stigma, some people take the story, they do not go back for the correction.
Mm-hmm. Well, in case he is not aware, and let this be put out there, HIV in the day and time we live now is not a death sentence. Medically, there are a lot of ways it can be handled that you can still live your normal life as any other, regular person. So bringing that wouldn't really even do anything. But I think he has also learned his lesson, which has also unraveled another matter within our prison systems, the kind of conditions and food and all of those. I'm thinking, my dear brother, maybe you should use that as some kind of a campaign to help correct what is wrong within instead of going around calling people what they are not. That's totally wrong.
Absolutely. Guys, I have to say, play silly games, win silly prizes. If you're home back now and you've charged up your ring light, you're thinking of plugging it in and press record, just don't.
Yeah. do you know the roulette, I've forgotten that game, that roulette, where Russian roulette, where you hold a gun and then you have what's it called? Cartridge inside the pistol. You put it in your head and then you start pressing it. And you give it to the next person, the person press it. That's a Russian roulette where you don't know where the cartridge actually is, the bullet actually is, and then you can get yourself killed. So people should stop playing that Russian roulette because they can get themselves killed.
Absolutely. Keyboard warriors. Let's move on. Moving on in the world of social media. Celebrity chef Hilda Baci's Guinness World Record for the largest pot of jollof rice is still commanding applause both at home and abroad. But while Nigerians continue to celebrate the feat and this young woman, social media activist Martins will say, better known as Verydarkman, has stirred a different conversation. Listen to some of the remarks he made concerning her feat.
Went up. Honestly, the entire team, every single person that worked on this went above and beyond. And I mean, it's my name and Gino on this record, but this record is dedicated to every single person that worked on it.
I've made Nigeria proud. She has tried her best. She has put us on the map. Do you understand? But this time, listen to me. It's not even about Hilda. It's not about Hilda. She's the girl. She's doing what a girl does. But I don't want a bunch of sitting down one place. Leave women. Let women do women. We sit down one place and we clap. But we cannot continue going out to foolish ourselves and, things.
Now, his comments have split opinions online, of course. Some people called it dismissive. Others are seeing it as a blunt critique. But the real question is, in an era where Nigerians are breaking barriers like Hilda Baci and placing their culture on the world stage, did he reduce Hilda's record to just cooking and as a thing women do? Did he undermine not only her success, but the broader recognition of Nigerian creativity? I don't know, so I'm going to take a look at social media. Crypto says, what's the definition of pride? This fame and engagement entitlement has eaten VDM up. Ratel is going to come for me. Most Def NG says, Nigerians love to rally behind positivity. That is why she got so much love. And MZ says, if no be the free rice, how many people for come see Hilda? How many people attended the previous cookathon? VDM, I didn't know women only cooked rice because right here I'm a journalist and I'm presenting a segment. Tim, this is very interesting. I don't think he meant any harm. I don't think that he was intentionally dismissive. But I don't think that on the other hand, this should have come directly on the heels of this win that she just got. It wasn't very constructive, it wasn't helpful, and it was unnecessary if you ask me. But what do you make of it?
Well, VDM, if somebody does something very good, everybody can applaud. Whether it's a woman or a guy, it doesn't really matter. Hilda thought of it. She went ahead, looked for sponsorship, she did it, and she won the stuff. We should clap. In fact, I'm a guy and I'm clapping right now because what she did was fantastic.
Yes, it's very dicey for me because I didn't get to hear everything Verydarkman said or says in that video because it's quite cut short. So I don't know, but if what I listen to now is anything to go by, I don't think he was trying to throw a jibe at Hilda. He's only talking about spirit of spectating, which I have issues with. You know, when people sit back, turn on their TV, watch football, start clapping, start doing that, and these guys are making money on the field, and then you are not doing anything to better your own life. I guess he's trying to encourage, motivate people that get yourself up, start doing something so that people will also clap for you. If this, what I listen to, is anything to go by. But if he is criticizing Hilda, I do not think it's a very wise thing to do, because Hilda has done it, and Guinness World Record has recognized her, which is an incredible feat that she's done. And I will say that congratulations to her once again.
Well, hopefully, Ibrahim, the perspective you're bringing to the matter is really the case. So, or else this thing he's saying doesn't catch any sense at all. I mean, I'm trying to do the mathematics of what it was. I'm not getting it. Because if he's saying, you know, now, guy, if something is good, leave it say good. This jumping on a trend to try to have an angle just for views and follow let it be intellectual, please. For sanity's sake, just leave it to be intellectual and make sense. For this thing you just said, except for the angle Ibrahim is bringing, that you were trying to encourage people to do something as well, I agree on that case. But if that was not what you were trying to get at, man, change.
Absolutely. And another national incident of someone setting up a ring light. Moving on.